Hello, my name is Reagan Clement, and I am back for another round of training you on how to become a woman who follows through. Pardon my voice this morning. I am coffee free, and it's making me that morning voice last a little bit longer when you're coffee free. And the reason I'm sharing this personal information is because it's the perfect example. Why am I coffee free? Well, I am on my 31st day of a very strict elimination diet. I'm working with a dietitian who's helping me heal my gut, and she has put me on this very difficult, very strict meal plan for 182 days. And she's so worried that I'm not going to make it. And I'm just kind of giggling because this is the perfect example to share with you on how to follow through. That's exactly what we're working on. Why do most people say, yeah, I'll do that meal plan and then fail? And why am I able to do it with very little stress? So I want to share this with you. You know that we already have a clear vision. You know I have a clear vision of what I want, and you and I have already worked on that. You know that we are ready for the resistance. I know what mental roadblocks and what lies are coming at me in those first 30 days, and boy, they came. And now I need an action plan. And so we're going to work today on creating an action plan. So most people like to put their action plan as their one and only step, but we know better now. We've gotten clear on our vision and our why. We're ready for the mental resistance. We understand it won't last too long. And now it's time to use this incredible tool. So I want to show you this action plan here. It's a beautiful tool. Someone once told me you have to conceive before you can achieve. Meaning you have to be able to conceptualize, imagine, and communicate concisely being the key, what you want if you want to have a snowball's chance of achieving it. So let's look at this action plan here. We're going to check out this dream at the top. This is write a concise statement clarifying your dream. You'll break that goal. So for me right now, it's to have peak health. I want to be in peak health. And so I've got to break that dream down into one of my challenges is to be at a healthy weight. And so I would put one of my goals here to be at a healthy weight without yo-yo dieting, And in order to do that, I have discovered in the last few years that I have some gut issues, some stomach issues. And so I had to break down my goal of being at a healthy weight into these action steps down here. And one of those action steps was just to find out the root cause of what's going on. I was having all these little symptoms and my weight was increasing for no reason. And I had to start researching and looking it up. So one of my actions was to research. I had a lot of little action steps here. And one of them was to just go ahead and do the gut health protocol. And so that's been a beautiful challenge in these last 30 days. And so I want to just show you this beautiful tool and let you have this, and then I'll give you some more examples here. One other reason I want to hit on before I switch to the next example is distraction. So a lot of clients will tell me they have this amazing thing they want. They come in and they're like, oh, I want, we do the work first. We do lots of digging and discovery to realize like, I want to open a bakery, or I want to launch a certain type of business. I want to be debt free. I want to retire my husband. I want to live on land with a few acres. Everybody has their own dream. And you put that at the top, and then they go home. They come back 7 days later for another coaching session, and they cannot remember what they told me. And this isn't just them. This is me too. I have a group of coaches that meets every Tuesday, and it's comical. Somebody will say something in that group and they'll be so on fire. They'll come back the next Tuesday and they won't even remember what fire. They don't remember what fire, because that's normal. That's human nature. We get very distracted. So this tool is to help you fight that. If everyone is getting really distracted and they can't even remember what they're pursuing from week to week, then we've got to use this tool, print it out, put it somewhere where you see it every day. Work on it every day. And then also you get to shade off these action steps every day. Every time you do an action step, you grab a highlighter and you shade that off. Let me show you another one here. So here's an example of an action plan for someone whose dream it is to live in a beautiful home on a few acres and have a peaceful life together. So their goals, yours will be different from theirs, but their goals were to get their finances in order, sell their current house, build a home, and create a plan for the in-between time. That time between selling and moving in. So then they break down each of these goals into 4 action steps. If they want to get their finances in order, for them, they needed to save for the down payment. They needed to save for living expenses during the build. They needed to talk to the bank about financing. They need to carve out time to budget weekly. So you can kind of see how if we were just kind of going, okay, your goal is to go and live in this beautiful home on a few acres, and you just start working toward it sporadically all of the time, you're going to burn out. You're going to lose sight of what you were looking for, what you were wanting. And honestly, every time you do something, like let's say you go and you choose your house plans. My husband and I just did this. Let's say you go and choose your house plans. You're not going to feel successful because your mind is going to say, hey, you're still not at your dream. You still haven't achieved your dream. You still haven't achieved your dream. But if you print this off and then you take your highlighter and you shade this, you see and feel that you're actually taking big steps towards your dream and that you're accomplishing something. So this is really the definition of celebrating small victories. And I want to tell you why it's important to celebrate our small victories. Everybody says that. Everybody knows that. But specifically right here with this tool, celebrating your small victories does something to your mind that makes it easier for you to follow through and over and over and over. People oftentimes talk about how they just aren't motivated. Right here, I'm about to give you a key part of turning that lack of motivation around. Okay? Here's how we do it. When you print this out and you write down those action steps, and then slowly each week you start shading off one at a time. When you shade something off, your mind sees evidence of progress. It's almost like a court case. Here's evidence of progress. When you, if I was going to share the opposite of this, when you're just sporadically working toward your dream, hither and thither, if you're sporadically working towards your dream and you can't see the small wins and you're not celebrating the small victories, it tells your mind that you are not following through. It tells your mind that you can't achieve your dreams. And I know you don't want that. It basically says you can't achieve your dreams. And so your mind starts to receive this message over and over and over. And this is why, honestly, most of our culture right now has that message being sent. If you look at social media around, February 1st, everyone sets these beautiful New Year's resolutions, and 91% of them have quit by February 1st. And then they're all making snarky comments on the internet and sharing things about how they can't believe they convinced themselves again that they would actually follow through. And it's so sad. It is so sad to see that is a normal part of our culture, to mock the idea of being able to achieve. And that is just a telltale sign that their mind has been receiving these messages from their inability to follow through. You're not going to be that way. That's not you. You're going to celebrate the small victories with this tool. You're going to see evidence of your progress. You're going to start feeling accomplished and good. And guys, feelings are powerful. We always say don't work from your feelings, don't work from your feelings. But when you have good feelings, they are motivating you. I mean, we're all working from our feelings, even if we don't want to. Your mind starts to believe that, wow, you are capable, you are good, you accomplished this. I see evidence. And this that good feeling leads you to go, yeah, I want to stay focused. I want to build momentum. I want to continue to feel motivated and good like this. And it's this snowball effect. That's why you meet some people who follow through on everything, because they found this key and they want to keep feeling that way. And so they start following through on things and you and I look at them and go, wow, how did you accomplish all of that in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years? And it's because of this right here. They saw the evidence, and they continued to chase that feeling of accomplishment and feeling good, and it actually led to them being more accomplished and more good, which is really cool. So let me share one more here. Whoop. Let me see if I can get these to. Here's one more. There we go. Okay, so one more example for you here. I'm so grateful to be in peak health and living my best life. Here are the goals broken down. Get to my healthy weight without yo-yo dieting. Be pain-free 90% of the time. Energy levels are high. My head and heart are at peace. And these action steps are broken down in their columns that are connected to that big milestone. So let's go to this last one. My head and heart are at peace. How are they going to do that? For them, they said, I'm going to identify times of stress and anxiety. I'm going to consider getting help with thought management, what you and I have been working on here with coaching. I'm going to pray daily. I'm going to hire help if there are mental roadblocks stopping me along the way. So this is just another example to help you get feeling really good about how to use this action step. So for your homework, that's it. I just want you to print this out, or you can even just make it. It's very simple. You can make it in your spiral or whatever you're using. But I just want you to spend 10 minutes right now after this video. I'm going to be finished in 30 seconds. I want you to spend 10 minutes making your own action plan. Fill it out concisely. And I'll give you a little tip. Most clients, the first few times they do this, it's full of vagaries. It's very pie in the sky. Nothing's really very concrete. I want to challenge you to get really concise and detailed, because even if you need to go back and change it later, it's going to be a lot more efficacious for you if you'll get very gritty with it. So that's it. Next video coming up is, and that's it. So coming up next, it is time to unlearn what accountability is not and relearn what accountability is. That's it. So coming up next in our next video is number 4, accountability. This is a huge piece that most people misunderstand, and they just blow through it and say, oh, I'm fine. And I want to explain exactly what accountability is not that we've been taught, and exactly what it really is, a holy gift. So I'll see you then.